Good morning, and welcome to another daily dose of encouragement. You will be happy to know that Phelan Sewell will be joining us next week, rejoining us. He will be taking back Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The baby's doing well, their family's doing well, and so he feels up for taking that back. Happy to serve in his place during the time being, but Phelan definitely has a knack and a skill and a talent for bringing us some encouragement, so looking forward to that. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday will be taken back up by Phelan, and we'll look forward to him resuming those. But for the last one with me, for now at least, I wanted to bring something to all of our attention. Again, this is related to something that we talked about earlier in the week. Earlier in the week, we talked about Romans 3, verse 23, and the fact that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. There is not a single person who can say that they are beyond errors in judgment, a person who is beyond making mistakes, a person who is beyond falling short of God's glory. And if we convince ourselves of that, then we have done much damage and much deception in our own lives. I want to use an illustration today of a person who was exceedingly extraordinary in his time, and that person was King Josiah of Judah. And King Josiah, he lived in about the 600s BC, and the scriptures tell us in 2 Kings chapter 23 and verse 25, 2 Kings 23 verse 25 says, "Before him, Josiah, there was no king like him, who turned to the Lord with all of his heart, and with all of his soul, and with all of his might, according to all the law of Moses, nor did any like him arise after him." Now, Josiah was an extraordinary individual who made fantastic choices as far as the vast majority of his life. And he became king at 8 years old, so obviously in part his success was due to those around him who were offering him good counsel. It was not because of his forebears. His forebears were not very good, but he had seemingly good counsel from the time that he was 8 years old, and he made good choices. He reinstituted the Passover. He took care of a lot of the abominable deeds of those people of Judah. And so we get several chapters in the scriptures that tell us just how great and how fantastic Josiah is. But when we get to the end of Josiah's life, he makes a critical error that results in his death and adds to the judgment that is coming upon Judah. So no matter how extraordinary or how different in a good way you might be, you are also prone to make mistakes, prone to make errors in judgments, prone to sin and not to be open to wisdom or to be open to the Word of God. So, in 2 Chronicles chapter 35, this is not recorded for us in 2 Kings, which is a little odd because typically Kings will record, the books of Kings will record errors on the part of the kings that led to the downfall of Israel and Judah, whereas Chronicles typically recounts how there is an openness of the kings that will result in their restoration in the future. So Kings has sort of a negative focus, whereas Chronicles tends to have a very positive focus. An exception to that is here in 2 Chronicles chapter 35, where we have something very negative recorded about Josiah. We're going to read here in 2 Chronicles chapter 35 and verses 20 through 27, just this last account of Josiah's life. And keep in mind again, in 2 Kings 23:25, there was no one like Josiah. After all this, when Josiah had set the temple in order, Neco, king of Egypt, came up to make war at Carchemish on the Euphrates. And Josiah went out to engage him, but Neco sent messengers to him, saying, "What have we to do with each other, O king of Judah? I am not coming against you today, but against the house with which I am at war. And God has ordered me to hurry. Stop for your own sake from interfering with God who is with me, so that he will not destroy you." However, Josiah would not turn away from him, but disguised himself in order to make war with him. Nor did he listen to the words of Neco from the mouth of God, but came to make war in the plain of Megiddo. The archers shot King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, "Take me away, for I am badly wounded." So his servants took him out of the chariot and carried him in the second chariot which he had, and brought him to Jerusalem, where he died, and was buried in the tombs of his fathers. All Judah and Jerusalem mourned for Josiah. Then Jeremiah chanted a lament for Josiah, and all the male and female singers speak about Josiah in their lamentations to this day. And they made them an ordinance in Israel. Behold, they are also written in the Lamentations. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah and his deeds of devotion, as written in the law of the Lord, and his acts first to last, behold, they are written in the books of the kings of Israel and Judah. Josiah was not above making crippling mistakes. Josiah was not above making errors in judgment. He was a fantastic leader, unrivaled, unparalleled in how fantastic he was. And he did many wonderful things to turn the people in the right direction. But here he made a critical error, and it cost him his life. And it cost the people of Israel, and the people of Judah specifically, much because of this error. You'll notice here that Neco warns Josiah, and he says, "Do not come against me. God is with me. God is not with you in this." And Neco tries to offer wisdom and counsel to Josiah. Now, Josiah, maybe he had reasons to wonder about Neco's truthfulness, but we do find out from the biblical narrative that Neco was true in this, that God was with him. And we find out that Josiah would not heed godly counsel, that Josiah would not humble himself, and he would not accept godly wisdom. We're in a time where there's a lot of information, and it's hard to figure out what is true and what is false, what is information that we should use and can use, and what is information that we could use but maybe we should not use. And sometimes we fall prey to that as well. Sometimes we wonder about the information that is provided to us. We question it, and we make decisions that did not heed that wisdom, and those decisions are in error. We are not above mistakes, and we should always be open to the fact that we can make errors. And when we do make errors, and information was provided to us, Lord willing, we have the time and the humility to choose what is right and do the best that we can to correct those errors and to negate some of the offshoots of those errors and negative effects of those errors. Hopefully we have the humility to do that. And hopefully, for those who are offering godly counsel and it is not heeded, may you persist and may you endure, and may you have humility as well. Not to hold it over anyone if they make an error by not heeding your godly counsel, but rather to work together and to cooperate and to move forward successfully. And may you do the best that you can to continue to offer godly counsel in an evil and perverse generation. None of us is above mistakes, and may we all heed godly counsel. God bless you, and we hope that this provides encouragement to you. May you find comfort in the arms of Jesus. God bless.